I like Pascal. Assembler is my go-to, but never underestimate
The power of BASIC.
Yeah. Never underestimate the power of BASIC. The Tetris movie in 2023 did not just stir up childhood memories. It triggered quite a question for me. What would it look like for the Apple II to run the game with the very same set of zero graphics, pure text-based Tetromino blocks, written in AppleSoft BASIC? Would the bells and whistles of a 1 MHz, 8-bit Apple II be up to the task, or somewhat outrun the original Electronika 60, born with twice the muscle, double the speed? Of course, the original Electronika 60 Tetris runs on compiled Pascal, and the AppleSoft BASIC running under the interpreter has been notoriously inefficient. Perhaps the BASIC compiler might do something about that later. Right then, shall we? Figured. Doing things at its own sweet pace, eh? Sluggish indeed, albeit many arses had been worked off, ramming heavy algorithmic optimizations and shortcuts down the AppleSoft BASIC interpreter's throat. Fine, let's see if a compiler can give it a bit of a shove. Now we are talking. Let's pump up the speed, just like the number 4 or scored key in the original Electronika version. Right. I wasn't signed up for this. Might use a little help. Thinking, eh? What is it thinking? What is all this disembodying and silhouette business? Disembody. Recall. Disembody. Recall. Disembody. Recall. Quite a sight, while a tad creepy-crawly. It's the inevitable marriage of the Data Diet Committee of Academic Minimalism and Pierre Delacroix's heuristic frameworks, of course. Predictable, isn't it? Aggregate height. The sum of all 10 column heights, the smaller the number, the lower the stack, and the lesser the chance of hitting game over. Holes. The count of all empty cells that are trapped beneath blocks. Holes prevent lines from getting full so as to be removed. Not good. Bumpiness. The total height differences between neighboring columns across the entire stack. Uneven terrain makes it hard for a block to find its landing spot, so it is better to keep this number as small as possible. Line clears. The number of rows getting full so as to be removed. It is the ultimate goal for keeping the game alive. So much for the committee's contributions. And one final parameter culled from Pierre Delacroix's 6-parameter model, the landing height. The row index where a block comes to rest, the lower the placement, the safer the stack. 5 distinct calculations, and who cares if they live in conjugal bliss or not, are mangled together for one final, merciless heuristic score. Watch the flashes. Whenever a better position is scouted out by the disembodied ghost, column by column, the older score is overwritten with a flash celebrating the newly found better decision target. There is a distinct charm to the sluggishness of AppleSoft BASIC running without a compiler. It gives you time to watch the math panic. Now, go easy on those suspiciously identical statistical counts, if you please. Yes, we are using a modern 7-bag randomizer to accompany our wall-kick mechanisms. With a bag of numbers 1 through 7, each representing one tetramino block shape, the 7-bag randomizer just shuffles the exact numbers 1 through 7 so as to generate the blocks in different orders. The next bag will only be generated and shuffled when the current bag runs out. Once you realize the safety net is doing the heavy lifting, the illusion of near perfection becomes a lot less intimidating. We take all the help we can get on a 1 MHz machine. Nothing says peak efficiency quite like forcing an 8-bit relic to crunch modern heuristic math, right? After all, everything runs in AppleSoft BASIC. Speaking of the ancient programming language, the actual source code will remain private. But if you want a sequel explaining the math and the absolute mountain of asses worked off optimizations, leave a comment. We'll see about that. Well, that's your lot, folks. Before we pop the kettle on, let us see what happens if we unchain this 8-bit relic and feed it the raw processing power of the modern age. Mind how you go.